Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Subramaniam Maslamani. I'm a Tamil. Today, my subject is how to find a constitution that will make Tamils worldwide come together as one community. If you take away freedom, people become dependents. Dependent people become liabilities. Therefore, do not interfere with freedom. The future world of Tamils will be decided by a set of conditions that will make the large number of people to come together and form a community. We have to identify the needs that have to be satisfied to make them to feel a sense of belonging and the courage to unite. Let's see what may be those conditions. There's only one single condition that must be satisfied. Two, at least making people to think about belonging in a community. That is their freedom. Freedom is non-negotiable, unbargainable right of all people. So freedom is common to all. Any man tampering with the freedom of others is tampering with his own freedom. Let's see what else is common to all. Right to life. The very purpose of freedom is to preserve one's life on earth. This is another non-negotiable and unbargainable right of the people. When one takes away another's life, the penalty is his own life taken away. Anything wrong with that? The next is right to produce or vocational freedom. Life depends on food and other needs. One must have the freedom to acquire and retain them. This is called the property rights. The next right is right of association. That is, a man or a woman can form a partnership with another man or a woman for peaceful purpose, either for living together or for any purpose other than an armed struggle against the nation. The next right is educational freedom. One must have the freedom to choose the direction in which one wants to further his intellectual development. The next right is religious freedom. One must have the freedom to choose a belief system that is conducive to their life. Religion is not fanaticism, it's a way of organizing our internal operating system. The next right is choice of communication. One must have the freedom to choose the medium of communication, whether written, spoken or read, sometimes called the language rights. The next right is right to defend. One must be able to bear means of deterrence in case of aggression, invasion or intrusions. The next freedom is right to fair hearing. One must have the chance and choice of making his views heard and a means to impartial judgment. These are the minimum conditions to form any association or community or nation. But there's more. If I have to join an organization, what will I gain over what I already have? Get it? What will you gain over already what you have? This is the crux of the question. The question is, what is in it for me? If we form an association called Transnational Government of Tamil, what good is it? What are the articles of the Constitution? Why should I join? Will I be breaking the laws of the resident government? To these, the TGET government has not provided any answers. So if we want to unite our Tamil community, we have to make tremendous effort with trustworthy, responsible, and compelling insights and deliberations to make them think about joining a union of Tamils. Tamils are no ordinary people. To convince them will take a lot of effort. I do not think we ever had a selfless, convincing, charismatic, knowledgeable leader in our community. It is my opinion that the present condition of the community is due to its selfish leaders who were always infighting. As far as I know, from Chelvanayakam to Ponnambalam era, till now we are divided. It is more so than before and ever. After living over 65 years and work 16 hours a day and still coming to work at 5:59 a.m. sharp, I got something to say and I have the right to say. To preserve me in my own selfish interest, I forced myself to apply high degree of moral standards to operate my enterprise to benefit all. For without that union of people, I will not be able to survive and maintain this superb standard of living. My family, my relatives, my friends, my associates, my customers, my suppliers, my community, my city, my province and my country, Canada, is all part of my overall view of my life. I work with these people in my mind because I am selfish. Unity among the Tamil people is lacking and the community is at the verge of collapsing. I can feel the desperation of the people and the degeneration of the leadership capacity among our people who are calling themselves to be leaders. At this juncture, we need a leader who devotes himself or herself fully and entirely for the community. Do we have anyone? Do we have leader or a person who can reach out to the other leaders and factions and bring them under one dedicated and focused mission? TGT elected a prime minister. Did he ever bother to reach out to the other faction and convince him that we all must unite? Did they write a constitution that will mobilize, galvanize and crystallize the community? Did they ever tell the Tamil people through repeated address that we must unite, work hard and maintain a healthy community? No, it is not in their mind. Get up in the morning, we ice a coffee and the focus is on what is wrong with the others is the prime time discussion. The day goes fast when the tongue is loose. For 60 years, we watch this division and blame game. It gets votes. People live in hope. Nothing happens. We run the weekly YouTube program to coalesce the Tamil community worldwide, 70 million strong. We are making headway. We feel it from the people who participate in our discourse. We are running a socio-economic stimulus program. Tamils do not need any help, which is the plus about this community. Show them and they will do it. So we have an excellent stock to breed from. I am proud to be a Tamil because I belong to a determined and persevering community like no other. What we lack is leadership. To lead us such a vibrant and virulent community, you need a Sir Winston Churchill or a George Marshall type. I hope Prabhakaran is alive. I see one emerging in Tamil Nadu, Mr. Seaman. I see some in Malaysia and Singapore. I see lots of them in Europe and America. This community needs a selfless, smart leader. Donkeys are easy to lead, but try leading the horses. This is a long journey with no end, but we need a community that will stand the test of invasion by barbarians, a community that will maintain a high degree of trust and unity. India and Sri Lanka is talking about giving our rights. They cannot give our rights because they don't have any rights. If they do have, how come that they are so far down in the social ladder? To conclude this week's address, is TGTE the organization? Is Rudra Kumar the leader? He has so far not demonstrated his dexterity. If he is aloof and elusive, then the Tamil people have to look for other ways to salvate him. His first task should have been, within the first 100 days, is to unite the community, which he has not done. We hear of a draft constitution, but cannot see it in any of the web pages. He undertook an enormous task. Tamils in the West are the best. Tamils in the West are the best. Well educated, well experienced, and seasoned in American and European socio-economic plays. They follow great leaders like Barack Obama, Hillary and Bill Clinton and very many others. In the scale of 100, if Barack Obama is 100, where will Rudra Kumar be? This is the question Tamil people are asking us, for we too are in the same arena but to unite the Tamils worldwide, 70 million strong. What Tamils need is to discover our self-esteem, self-determination and self-preservation. No one need to give us anything. If you do, then you have plundered from us. I live in Canada. I do not ask for any handouts, but there is sufficient freedom to conduct my life my way without infringing into others and not tolerating infiltration by others. In my own self-interest, I respect my neighbor's self-interest. By respecting freedom of others, they reciprocate my freedom. How far is Sri Lanka or India or China for that matter? The Sinhalese in Sri Lanka, in their quest to demean, disgrace and degrade Tamils, demean themselves to menial positions. 20 million people set out to destroy 2 million people is nothing but ignorance. Have they realized their follies? Not at all. And in these troubled waters of the Indian Ocean, India and China are competing for material advantage. Maybe TGT thinks that Tamils are still the Panankotes and Doses, means backward people. Not, we are now well educated, experienced people who dress like statesmen, not like sailors sometimes appear on BBC. If we don't display our visual, auditory and kinesthetic ability, Mahinda Rajapaksa will say, let's have another drink and let us all gloat in the glory. He will say, never disturb the enemy while he is making mistakes. The best way to destroy an enemy is not to interrupt him while he is making mistakes. If I had said something to hurt someone, as they say, if the kitchen gets too hot, you can always leave. Some people think that we should worship our leaders. No, they should worship the people. While others think that when elected, they are entitled to get the cream and the gravy. What you ask for is to carry us on your back. You better get that one right. I hope I have put enough dough in your thought processor. Think about it. As I always say, all Tamils unite, stay together, work hard, never ever give up. It is in working that I see in my daily encounter with fellow Tamils. Until next week, I am Subramanian Maslamani, a world-class Tamil powered by conviction, commitment and conscience.